I'd love to go around the audience here and maybe get a few of you to report back on something that you took away from either a breakout or one of the organizations you engaged with. Let's hear some thoughts from the audience about that. So anybody want to volunteer?
Hello, everyone. My name is Carlos Duarte. I'm the Chief Development Officer with Mi Familia Bota. Congratulations. This has just been impressive, eye-opening. The diversity of the panelists has been fantastic. I would say that there were so many things that I learned today that were very inspiring, but I would say in the last panel that I attended here, where they were making the connection between the impact that climate has on health and how that is actually a good angle for us to address the issues because it resonates with people. It goes down to that level, and all of us either are affected or know of someone that either has asthma or has been somehow affected. And then the call to action was very clear. There were two very specific proposals. One is you need to assume leadership, so you need to be out there making the points, just changing the narrative, right? And then the second one is policy. Ultimately, policy does have tremendous impact. And if we are all working together to make this happen, we will see great results.
Fantastic takeaway, and thank you for the good work of Mi Familia Bota. You guys do awesome stuff. Seriously, moving us in the right direction. That was excellent. By the way, quick plug is the CDC just recently came out with a report, and I don't know if that was mentioned on the panel, I wasn't here, about the intersection of climate change and public health. We have some rock stars in the audience who actually helped to draft that, and I would encourage you to check out that new report that was published just a couple of months ago or a month ago. Other thoughts? Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Oh, and perfect timing. Good segue to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm just really taken aback by all of the insights that were shared today, and really invigorated once again to continue in this fight. I'm a local climate change communicator. I'm working for a behavior change marketing agency as well as climate activist for a local grassroots organization. And I think one thing that really resonates about our experience here today is we're all kind of struggling and feeling connected by this gap between the science and then the everyday. I think it's a struggle that we all share, and it's really great to kind of be tackling it together. And there was something that Dr. Marshall said this morning, specifically about weather and talking about how extreme people don't feel the extremes, they don't feel the averages, they feel the extremes. And I just thought that it really crystallized, just how we can use those different communication frames to really talk in terms that people can really understand and be moved by. And same with the climate and health conversation. I think that's really powerful. So just really, like I said, invigorated and inspired by continuing to be part of these conversations. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you for that feedback. Great. Other thoughts? I'm interested in any solutions that you all are taking away from these breakouts and these dialogues. A lot was mentioned. Other solutions that may not be out there in the ether. Reflection on this stuff is absolutely critical. You may be in a session and take away a point that somebody else right next to you didn't necessarily resonate with or take from. And so these types of reporting help us all unify kind of what was shared and on different perspectives, right? So thank you for those who are bravely volunteering to do that.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Dang, and I am a student at Valencia College. And the biggest takeaway that I took from this event was actually from the last panel that was upstairs, and we were learning about how you could connect your major to the environment. And so one big takeaway was that you should take risks, because a lot of people, they'll go out there, and if you take risks, then that means that you could learn a lot. Even though it might seem scary at first, every opportunity that you take, you'll still learn from something. And so that was something that I learned.
Good point. I'm glad that you took that away. That was the panel that I was in. And one of the important dialogues that we were having is the intersectionality of this challenge, and that students are thinking that there's a particular degree or a specialization that they need to go in to get into this field, not realizing that every single discipline is a part of the solution. We need people in medical, we need communication specialists, we need educators, we need engineers and scientists, you name it, across the board. And so it was more about stepping back identifying that passion that you align with, and then putting it to work in addressing climate change and the environmental degradation that we're seeing. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And sometimes it is taking a risk of volunteering above and beyond on weekends or at nights or in between classes, and just getting that experience, because that's what's going to set you apart when you are looking for a career path into the future, right? Even if it's not directly in line of what you're trying to go for. So thank you for that thought. Now, I'm excited to bring back Thais Vogel with the VoLo Foundation, co-founder and trustee, to talk to us about the VISTA Awards. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, gracias.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to go straight to the award. So we had a little bit of conundrum with the award, and my husband is going to explain it to you.
Well, what happened with the award is we had a very close, it was very close between the top two, and the judge's favorite was different than the audience favorite, which means we had to do a whole bunch of math to figure out with the weighting which one was in fact the winner. We did decide that both projects were impactful enough to be worthy of a $10,000 grant. But
So we are going to present the award to the percentage winner. He's the math person, you know.
So in the spirit of competition, there can only be one VISTA Award winner, and that is hybridizing Florida's coastline. Marbelis Garriga, please step up. And also a winner of a $10,000 grant for a project we believe will be very impactful. Sarah Swears, Food Waste Recovery System.
I don't know if she's here. I didn't see her. I guess she left. I have to say, the takeaway today, my takeaway is we owe it to the youth. We, the old generation, are going to help you, but you have to help us. And together, we can do this. Please, the other winner.
So we got a nature-based solution, and we got food waste, and that's amazing. Thank you to the both of you, to the Vogels, for that unbelievable contribution to these projects. Next up, we are going to announce another award, and that's focused on the Climate Correction Artist Award.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Super excited to present these scholarships to these three artists. The artists were not required to come to pick up their award. I try to be mindful that some may have classes, but we may have the artists in the room with us today. And if you hear your art piece being described or you see it, please feel free to come to the stage to accept your award. So I will read some of the descriptions, and we'll start with our third place award for a $250 scholarship. And the name of this award is Raise Up, Raise Down by Andrea Marinsky. It has to do with the importance of highlighting the capabilities of humans in making change. The two faces have different approaches, and they both work together to either speak up and influence the community to raise awareness or to put oneself in the shoes of other species that also inhabit the earth and realize that we're not at the top of the food chain. And imaginative-based solutions are the plants grabbing onto the clouds, which represent our atmosphere, and the brain represents the main objectives, which is to change our mentality and understand that we are a part of this planet. If we don't preserve it, we are hurting ourselves. The coral reef above symbolizes the similarities between humans and their ecosystems. Congratulations, Andrea. Up next, we have Pollinator Drone by Selena Lescano. The climate crisis is impacting bee populations by causing habitat loss and rising temperatures leading to seasonal shifts. Bees play an important role in food production, our economy, as well as plant and wildlife biodiversity. If bee populations continue to decline at this rate, it may lead to their extinction. If this occurs, we will need to use manpower or technology to supplement in pollination. Congratulations, Selena Lescano. You're welcome. And last but certainly not least, in first place, we have an inventive piece by Camilla Lim Hing, Our Future is in the Wind. We have about a decade to change our path in reducing carbon emissions and pollution, or it may be too late. In switching to more sustainable energy practices, we can steer the course for future generations. Renewable energies have the ability to sustain entire cities by providing low-cost, efficient, and clean air. This sculpture encapsulates this idea. A little girl, based off my 4-year-old sister, blowing on a wind turbine, almost entirely submerged in water. Wind turbines are one of the leading sustainable energy practices next to solar and hydroelectric energies. Though many people may be turning a blind eye on solutions for problems they help accelerate, the younger crowd has taken action into their own hands with strikes and demonstrations. Congratulations to Camilla Lim Hing. So I want to thank you all for participating in our art walk and voting. As I mentioned earlier, art is a wonderful cathartic process to work through our emotions about climate change and to be inventive and imaginative about our solutions. A lot of people say about the HIV and AIDS crisis that real change came after the artists became involved because they were able to help communicate those issues and showcase that to the communities and to our government. And I think the same goes for our artists and climate change. Our artists need to be involved in communicating climate science so that we can all speak the language of art and move forward with solutions. So thank you so much for participating. If any of you are interested in purchasing the art pieces, the students have given us permission to connect you with their email addresses. So please feel free to reach out to myself or my staff outside if you're interested in purchasing an art piece. Thank you so much.